This video is dedicated to my mother, who's 90 years old and lives in Central Florida, and recently produced her first YouTube video of planes landing on a lake near where she lives. I figured if my 90-year-old mother can do it, I can, so we're going to go ahead and give it a go today and install a brake controller on our new 2014 Ram 1500. I mention the 2014 because it's my understanding in recent years Ram has changed the wiring that's provided on the truck. And that is, of course, if you get the 7-pin connector, then the wiring is there for you. It used to be that it would be above the emergency brake on the left side, and I believe in 13 and 14 they moved it to the right side, and it's above the gas pedal. I chose to go with the Tekonsha P3 model. There you see it in the center of the screen. Some of the hardware that comes with it. It also comes with wiring should you wish to plug it into the back of the unit and then splice it into your existing wiring. I chose not to go that way and bought this wiring harness that's unique to the Ram 1500, and therefore I only have to plug it into the unit and then into two other sockets that are in the Ram. Makes it quite easy. This is obviously the interior of the Ram. Had we gotten the integrated brake controller, it would have gone right here, which in fact would have been very nice. However, it didn't come on this Ram, and the installation looked rather cumbersome, so we chose to go with the unit that we bought. This is actually the brake harness that I referred to a few moments ago. This plug in my right hand goes into the back of the P3, your brake controller. Then you have another plug here that goes up above your gas pedal to one of these two sockets provided by Ram. I should also point out that they're stuck up there pretty good. They've got this foam tape around them that you need to get off best you can. And they are stuck up there pretty well and then taped up around some other wires so as not to fall down. I recommend you take this off first, then you can pull these down so you can actually work on them, get the foam tape off, that kind of thing. This one goes up to a socket. To be honest, was a little hard to find, but it was up above the brake pedal. Fits perfectly, so that's where that goes. The plan is to install the unit right here to the right side above the gas pedal. And maybe that's why they brought the wiring over here. I can see how over here it might be cumbersome getting in and out of the vehicle. You might hit it with your leg, something like that. Over here, less so. This is where we had it on our last vehicle. Seemed like it was a non-issue, so that's where we're going to put it. As you can see, I connected the bracket on one side. There's some wiggle room there. Then I tightened it down and positioned it so I could drill my other hole, get it exactly where I wanted it. Okay, now it's time to drill the other hole and we'll finish installing the bracket. The bracket's in now. I think it goes without saying, but you have to make sure that you're not drilling into anything behind that panel when you put the screws in. Even though the screws aren't very long, you don't want to hit anything that might be important. I didn't see anything on our vehicle that would come into play, so it was not a problem. Also, when you position the bracket, keep in mind that when you install the unit, you're going to be driving a screw in from the right and the left. And so you need to leave room for your screwdriver to get at those holes. Otherwise, you've installed your bracket and you have no access to the holes which will connect the unit. So keep that in mind. Here's a side view of the brake controller. You can see the gas pedal on your left, and that's the last plug that needs to be plugged into the unit. And I curled up the cables and stuck them in behind the plastic that's really under the radio there. It's a perfect little pocket there. Of course, you don't want those falling down by the gas pedal, so that worked out well. Okay, here it is, fully installed. I think the colors go great with this vehicle. Now all we have to do is fire it up and see if it works. I just plugged it in. Obviously we have power, so I think we're good to go.